So there's a new 360 camera coming soon, and it's going to be a new Ricoh Theta. When is it coming out? What is it? Is it a consumer 360 camera like the Theta V or a prosumer camera like the Theta Z1? And what features is it going to have? In this video, we're going to talk about these questions. So in the past few weeks, Ricoh has filed for permits for a new 360 camera, a new Ricoh Theta. Specifically, there's been a Bluetooth certification filing, as well as a filing in China for some kind of permit. So these things mean that a new 360 camera is coming soon. Now, how soon exactly, we don't know yet. It might be just in time for Christmas, but probably closer to CES. All right, so is it a consumer 360 camera like the Theta V, or is it a prosumer camera like the Theta Z1? So the short answer is that we don't know yet for sure, but it's likely to be in the same class as the Theta Z1. I say that because I had an interview with the head of the Ricoh Theta division, and he said that they were working on the next version of the Theta Z1. Now the Theta Z1 has already had two versions. Here's the original and here's the second version. See the difference? Well, you probably can't because they look virtually identical. So identical I had to put a sticker on my original just so I could tell the difference between these two. The only difference between the original version and the new one is this one has 51 gigs memory. And when this came out, some people were disappointed because they were hoping for bigger changes. So is this new Theta Z1 going to be just another iteration of the Theta Z1 with just minor changes? And the good news is that it is not. It's going to be a new 360 camera. How do we know that? Well, let me tell you. So here's the original Theta Z1, and the model number for this is R02020. Got that? Now, after the Theta Z1, Ricoh released this. This is the Theta SC2. This is kind of like the older Theta V, but they just nerfed it to make it a little more affordable. So this one has a model number of R03030. This year, they released the new Theta Z1 with 51 gigs. Now, the model number for this is R02020. The same as the original Theta Z1. It makes sense because they're virtually identical anyway. So the fact that this new Theta Z1 has a different model number tells us that it is not just a simple variation of the Theta Z1. It's a new camera altogether, probably a Theta Z2. So what features can we expect? Well, based on my interview with the head of the Theta division, Mr. Fujiki, we can expect a few features. Number one, it will probably have removable storage. Finally, the first Ricoh Theta to ever have removable storage. It's something we've always been waiting for, and finally, I think we're going to get it in this version. Now, what about a removable battery? That one is a little less clear because in my interview with Mr. Fujiki, it didn't mention anything or hint that they would be adding it, so it might not happen. Now, what about the feature that everyone's been waiting for the Theta Z1? I'm talking about better video. See, the Theta Z1 has a very large 1-inch sensor, but the video is limited to 4K. So it has lower resolution for video than consumer 360 cameras like the Insta360 One X2 or the GoPro Max. And everyone would love it if the Theta Z1 would just had better video, like at least 5.6K, if not 8K. So here's the thing. I think it's possible, but I don't think it's likely. Here's why. Two reasons. Number one is Ricoh is a very, shall I say, conservative company. They're very, very, very careful before they make any big changes. So it's number one. Number two, My opinion is that Ricoh sees itself as primarily like as a photo company, not so much as a video company. And that's just my opinion. So I don't think they see video as being as important to them as it is to the rest of us. Now, the good news is that Ricoh does listen to your feedback. When the Theta Z1 was first released, the only way you could stitch raw photos from this was using Adobe Lightroom Classic. And it's a great app, but not everyone has a subscription for it. Besides, it's kind of expensive. So, a lot of people didn't like that fact, and we wanted a standalone Theta Stitcher. Now, when I had an interview with Mr. Fujiki a few months ago, he invited people to let them know if people really wanted a standalone Theta Stitcher. And people responded. Viewers responded by putting comments to that video, letting Ricoh know that we did want a standalone Theta Stitcher. And guess what? They did create a standalone Theta Stitcher just for us. So if you want a Theta Z1 with higher video resolution, like 5.6K, maybe even 8K, then we gotta let Ricoh know that we do want it. So let Ricoh know by putting a comment below in this video. Let's use hashtag Z2 video. And with that hashtag, we'll let Ricoh know that we do want higher resolution video in the next Theta Z1, unless they've already done it. Now the Theta Z1 is for prosumers. In my next video, I'm going to talk about 360 cameras for beginners. I'll see you in 360.